Hello everybody, welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing probably my fifth movie review in a row. I'm sorry for so many movie reviews, there's just so many movies coming out that are so good. I will get to like more gaming videos and animatronic videos as soon as possible. But I really want to talk about this movie called The First Omen because it is unexpectedly fantastic. This movie I saw when it came out basically, but I am really late to the party. I know it came out like a week ago and stuff like that. Probably a lot of you already saw reviews of it. Probably not actually, because it's actually not doing that good. The box office opening I heard was terrible, and that is really sad to hear because this movie is actually really good. The problem is that not everybody is going to be able to watch this movie because there is a lot going on in this movie that will probably freak everybody out. So, not gonna lie, this is one of the scariest movies I have seen in a while. There has not been a movie scarier than this in at least like 5 years at least, I would say. This movie, like, it's only like two scenes that are like really scary, but those scenes were made me froze. And I have not felt that in a long time, and that really shocked me because I mostly just thought this movie was gonna be gross and weird. But there was some freaky, disturbing parts. There are a lot of things a lot of controversy about it, like how it was originally NC-17, which is not safe for work, not for kids at all. It used to be that, but they had to remove a lot of scenes, and I do know what scenes those are, because I was so shocked that even I saw, let's just say that a woman was giving birth, and they actually show it getting infected and stuff, and a demon hand comes out of it, and it's disgusting. This is the only movie I have ever seen something like that. I have no idea why. I didn't know Rated R can allow that. I didn't even know movies in theaters allowed that, but I guess it does. But it was a lot, and it was weird as hell. First, I want to say the main star of this movie, I forgot her name, I forgot the actor's name, she did a great performance in this movie. She was fantastic. She was definitely the best part of this whole movie. She did so good as playing as this character. I already forgot all their names because this is a week later, so I don't fully remember all of it. But she did so well, and so did a lot of other characters. There's just one kid character that I think I did pretty well for a kid actor. That was pretty good. The soundtrack for this movie was fantastic. It was made by Mark Corvin. I don't know how to say your name. I know it's Mark, obviously. Mark Corvin. I think he did the Black Phone soundtrack and stuff like that. I like him as a modern day composer. I think he's great, and I think this is one of his best works so far. This is a really great soundtrack. The soundtrack is disturbing as frick, but it's so good. It has some original tracks, but also mixes some of that original Omen, songs by Jerry Goldsmith, which is a fantastic composer as well, from the 80s and all that. He did Gremlins and all that. You know him, probably. I don't know. Probably not. but they're both fantastic composers, and mixing that in with modern stuff, it sounds 100% better, and it honestly sounds freaking great. It's fantastic. Another thing I was shocked by is that this is actually a really good prequel to the original movie. You don't need to watch it, obviously, because it doesn't really matter. You can just watch The Omen and that's it. But it is a really good prequel. The way it connects everything is really clever. It's really clever, how it's done. I was really surprised about that. So not only did it connect itself to the original, it also open the doors to new movies, other movies that could happen in the future. I don't know if that's happening because it's not doing that well, but obviously not as good as the original Omen, but it is still a good movie. It's a good horror movie. I think it is probably the best horror movie we got this year, but I have such a appreciation for stuff like Late Night with the Devil because it's an original idea. And so is this. This has a lot of, I'm just going to say this right now, this actually feels like a 70s movie, and this movie is a pretty high-budget horror movie, so obviously it's going to have a lot of better, authenticity. A lot of the people in the background actually have, accurate clothes from in the 70s and stuff like that. Like it's all like it's jam packed with like 70s stuff because it's higher budget. You're obviously gonna have more accuracy, authenticity, and stuff like that in the background. So how some lower budget movies probably won't. And also the way they make this look like a 70s movies, like the filters and stuff, is like top notch. Like it's really good, well done. Like it actually looks like an old movie. And I think this is also an IMAX. I think so because when I saw this in my theater, it looked like it was in like an IMAX ratio because there was like black bars on the sides. So I don't know if it's an IMAX, but I do know it is on a 35 millimeter screen in some cities. Apparently, it's not even in Chicago. I'm surprised it wasn't even Chicago. It wasn't playing where I was. I know it was in Georgia, though. That was the closest location to me, but I'm not going to Georgia just to see this movie in 35 millimeter. But if you guys have the chance to, go see it in 35 millimeter, because that is even more, accurate and authentic for this movie, because it's obviously supposed to be a 70s movie. And I would love to see that this movie in that format. Hopefully they do like a separate disc or something like that where it's like they recorded the 35 millimeter and just put it on a disc or something like that. Hopefully they do something like that because I would love to watch it in that type of form, but I couldn't because it's playing nowhere near me. But it is interesting. It is a really cool idea, and I do really like that. Don't know what 35 millimeter is. It's basically the films that they used in the 70s where it's like all scratchy, grainy looking. It's really old looking, but I think it really fits this movie because obviously it's supposed to be a 70s movie. I also gotta say they have to hire this director for the Exorcist movies, the new trilogy, whatever, because the shots in this movie are not only beautiful, but they really, really remind me of The Exorcist, and the editing and stuff in this movie is so Exorcist, and I do really like that because we never got a movie as close as this to The Exorcist as ever. I think this is the closest to The Exorcist you'll get. Obviously, it's not 100% there. It's not fully Exorcist, but it is not far off either. Some of the shots and stuff, from it, going above the, the city and stuff like that. And it, is slowly zooming in while, the lady's, sitting down or something. It just reminds me so much of The Exorcist. And this guy needs to be hired for an Exorcist movie if he can make a good one. Obviously, I don't think there will be ever another good Exorcist movie besides Exorcist and Exorcist 3. I think it's impossible. But I would love to see that if that is the case. If I don't think they should continue it. Obviously, Linda Blair and stuff. I think it just should be its own thing. I don't think you can ever do an Exorcist movie that ties into the original event. You have to do something completely separate from everything else. You can't really continue a story with The Exorcist. It's impossible. But I do really love the shots in this movie. The shots in this movie are fantastic. Whoever did the cinematography and stuff, you need a raise, I guess. Did a really freaking good job. And there is, again, like I said, there is a lot, there's actually, 2 really scary scenes. I don't remember the other one. I know there's another scene that did scare me, but I don't fully remember it. But I know one scary scene had to do something where it was really dark. This is a spoiler warning, by the way. I already said some spoilers, so it doesn't really matter anyway. It's in the dark. Then you see you can hear something moving, and you can kind of see it. It's really dark though, and then it slowly comes out, and you see it crawling. Oh my god, what is that? And then it stands up, and it's a lady that's burnt, and I won't say who it is because it is revealed in the movie later, earlier on. But it's a burnt lady, and it is so freaking creepy. It is so scary. It doesn't sound that scary when I'm obviously describing it, but watching this in the theaters, it terrified me. It's actually the one scene that probably terrified me the most in a while. It has been a while since I had that type of fear. I actually probably almost froze. And that's how scary it was. And I was shocked by that because I never thought this movie would be that scary because obviously all movies now are generic. But this movie did it, and it was terrifying. It was freaking awesome, though. I loved it. This is not a really rewatchable movie because it is so weird and bizarre. It's not really rewatchable. I probably won't watch it again. But it is good. It's a good movie. I highly recommend watching this definitely in theaters, and 35 millimeter if you have one anywhere near you. If you have a 35 millimeter anywhere near you, highly recommend checking out in that format because it's probably scarier, to be honest. And it's like a one in a lifetime thing. Like, you're never going to see something like that again in a while. And I really like that idea. So yeah, putting this in like a rating or something like that. I didn't even say the rating in the beginning of the video. I got so carried away about talking about this, but in like a rating thing, I think I'm gonna give it to like how much I enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10, because it is so unrewatchable. It is so weird and bizarre that I can barely watch this again. I will, but it is so hard to watch this again. But it is freaking awesome, and I did enjoy my time with it when I first watched it. But second time, I'm probably gonna be like, oh god, this is so freaking weird. But yeah, I think 9 out of 10 fits this movie, and I do think it is probably the best horror movie of this year so far. Anyway, yeah, that's basically my review for the first Omen. I think it was great. I'll see you guys later.